Hello and welcome to episode 106 of the Pixel Street Podcast for Friday, August 7th, 2020. What a year. This is flying by.
Kind of? I don't know, man.
I think it's just
It
flying
could
by
go a
because,
little faster.
like, to me, I feel like it's going fast because I haven't left my house. So it just, like, feels like it's all just one long day. But then you look at a calendar and you're like, damn, it's already August. I don't know. I feel like it would have felt longer if I was actually doing shit. I don't know. Because then I could look back and be like, oh, I did that, and that this summer. But instead it's like, oh,
I did nothing.
did that one thing all summer.
It does kind of feel like a void of despair and nothingness when you think about it.
That's 2020.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this is the Pixel Street Podcast where we talk about one of the things we love most, and that is video juegos. Yeah, follow us on Twitter, Pixel Street Pod. We take topics there. We post giveaways, whatnot. And Facebook, Pixel Street Podcast. You just search for that there. I'm one of your hosts, Joel Campos, and today I'm joined by John Hansen. I got nothing to say.
I'm now coming to you in baldness.
In baldness. And in sickness, and in health, and in baldness. They're going to add that to your wedding vows someday.
Put it on his tombstone.
I think I'm some kind of fool to get married.
For the record,
Not a Connor.
we were trying to get John to rub pizza on his bald head that he was just eating in the middle of the podcast without saying anything, but he declined. So we'll get a poll going on Twitter later on whether or not he should do that.
Pizza on my head.
We're also joined by Connor, not a cop.
That's me. I can't arrest you except for a citizen's arrest.
it.
But I don't really know how those work. So, better safe than sorry. I'm just not going to arrest you, period. So we're going to move on with our lives. I'm not a vigilante. I'm not a superhero. I'm not a cop, contrary to popular belief. I'm just a guy who likes video games.
Not a cop, not a vigilante. Yet. We just got to get a Batman
There's
cowl.
always a chance.
We
There's
just got to
always
get a
chance.
Batman cowl.
You're right.
That's it.
I'm Batman.
There you
I'm
go.
not wearing hockey pads.
Where is he?
But yeah, at any rate, this week we are going to be talking about video games, believe it or not. We're going to be talking about some Avengers news that just came out this week from Square Enix. Pikmin has been announced for the Switch, and State of Play is going to be this week. But before we get into that, let's talk about what games we are playing. John, what have you been playing?
All right, so first off, I've been playing Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. It's on Game Pass, and I've been looking for a game. So lately, I have really gotten into Critical Role because not too long ago, I started my first ever D&D campaign, and now I'm just in this whole Dungeons and Dragons world thing. I love listening to it and everything. So I've been listening to Critical Role, and I've been gaming while listening to it. And so I downloaded this and I started playing it. And usually I don't like games that I don't like games that only have Japanese voiceovers. Even if it's an anime with English dub, a lot of them still just stick with the Japanese, and I just don't like that. Jump Force was a really big one. I went into that one excited because I'm like, yeah, I'm going to play as Goku and everything. I love Dragon Ball Z. And then it was only the Japanese fighters or voice. And that really throws me off. Doing this with not listening to the voiceover at all makes it more bearable to me. And so that's cool. As a game itself, though, this game's not that good, really. I've been doing it just to waste time. It's very... just kind of boring, kind of lame. So you make your own character, and you're in this new Sword Art Online world that's centered around guns and everything, where in the past it's always been really
Swords?
fantasy themed and all that stuff. Because I really liked the show and everything, but going into this, it's just the writing's not good, the gameplay is just meh, and there's just so many like cutscenes outside of the combat that are just like static images of the character model standing up and talking, you know? Like they didn't put enough work into like cutscenes actually doing anything. I don't know. It's really
Disappointing.
lame.
Did you play the other two?
No, this is the first Sword Art game I've played.
Okay. I know that Lost Song, I think that's the first one, it's pretty highly regarded. Is a pretty decent and faithful game to that franchise. So I guess it's pretty disappointing to hear that Fatal Bullet doesn't really live up to that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just me. If I had to listen to the Japanese voiceovers, I probably wouldn't be playing it at all, just because I like understanding what they're saying.
Well, and I think you also get so attached to, like, I had the same issue with the My Hero game, My Hero Wants Justice.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
The first one was the same thing. It was just Japanese voiceover, and if you wanted the English translation, it was available in sub, but you couldn't get the dub, which for me was disappointing because, like, you know, everybody always goes back and forth on the whole sub and dub thing, but, you know, I feel like there are such quality English voice actors now, and I got really attached to some of those characters. So to jump in the game and only be able to hear the Japanese ones, it was disorienting, and it just kind of removed that element of, like, them being characters that I connect with, you know?
Yeah.
Or I'm familiar with, rather. So, yeah, I totally get you there.
Yeah, even though it's the original voice actor, it feels like they're throwing in someone new to me because I'm just so attached to that original voice. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, Sword Art Online, Fatal Bullet, not a great game. Only play it if you have something else distracting you.
Yeah, I have gameplay up, and this is the first Sword Art gameplay I've ever seen, and my question was going to be, I did not know that there were guns in Sword Art Online at all. So,
It's only this game. Like,
Okay.
they specifically point out that this is just a game. The game that you're in is just a game that the world made for new people to come in because everything else doesn't have guns.
Okay. Yeah, and like the gameplay of this reminds me of Earth Defense Force. I don't know if either of you have played any of those games,
Oh, hell yeah.
but it kind of looks like it, and I am not a fan of those games.
What are you
Yeah.
talking about? Those are classics.
No, those games, they're always so fucking janky. Like, the graphics are never great.
Oh, yeah,
Nothing ever
you're
runs
sure.
properly. Like, shit spawns too fast and then, like, glitches. It's like, it's
Well,
not
that's
fun.
kind of the running joke, though, is like it's full of bugs.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay.
The jank is a
we're
feature.
gonna go on to the next topic, just to shut Connor up now. I guess I'll talk about what I've been playing. I played some Fall Guys. Have you guys tried it out yet? It's like the latest craze online.
No, I
I
haven't. But
haven't.
man, it looks so good.
I still have to download it.
Oh, it is a lot of fun. Like
I'll start that now.
Like I know that people have been hyping it up online on Twitter and stuff, but it like deserves all the hype it's getting. Like, yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna get bored of it really quick, but for being a free PlayStation Plus game the day it launched, like that's gonna be huge for them.
Rocket League.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what people are comparing it to in terms of like how successful this could be, because they could go nowhere but up. I don't know how many mini games there are total. So the way it works is it's pretty
like
much
20.
Okay, so it's pretty much a
20.
battle royale, and it's like last man standing wins essentially, and there's 4 rounds per game, and as you're going, people are getting eliminated, and each round is essentially a mini game, kind of like Mario Party style in a way, and yeah, people just get eliminated, and I could see myself getting bored pretty quick if they don't add new games, but it seems like something that would be easy enough for them to add more and more mini games. I would love to see how long it took them to make this game, because in my mind it doesn't seem like something that would take very long, but what do I know?
Yeah. Do we know the developer? Have they made something else?
Oh, what is the developer? I forget.
I'm looking up right now.
Okay.
Something with an M,
See what I can find.
but I know it's published by Devolver Digital, right?
Yes, yeah, it's published by developer Mediatonic.
Mediatonic, yeah.
I feel like I've heard that before.
Mediatonic. Let's pull up.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
fairly
not
certain
sure.
it's a pretty small team because I know a lot of people were complaining about
I
a
got
lot
a
of
list.
server issues and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
but they've had so much good
Oh,
talk
they.
going into this, plus it being free, that
Right,
their
and
servers are
they've
being
already come out
annihilated.
ahead of it and said that they're working on it. They're doing their best to get there and do what they can. So, you know, they're on top of these things, and it's super cool. Looking at their website here, I didn't realize it, but they're the guys behind Gears Pop.
Yeah,
There
Pop
we
and
Gears
go.
game.
That's where I've heard it.
So,
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Fable Fortune,
While
apparently.
we're talking about it, I guess we'll just bring up the quick news that we have on it right now. But because of those server issues, they started getting review bombed on Steam and everything,
Yeah.
and then unbombed because everyone loves it. It's really funny.
Yeah, and like that's the thing is like I get it if you're gonna like review bomb a game like Call of Duty because it doesn't work the day it launches. You know, like if that really makes you mad, that's fine. But a game like this, that's like yo, give them a break, man. Like how many people worked on
Yeah.
this game? Like maybe 15.
Yeah,
Like
Pe-
you
people are
got to expect that when over 1 million people try and play the game in the same day, you're gonna have issues. But a big company like I don't know Ubisoft or something having a multiplayer game, you know,
Yeah, it makes more sense there.
yeah, it makes
They
more
have the
sense to
funds,
be
they
mad
have
at
the
them. Yeah.
people. Yeah.
But I mean,
No.
like it worked. I didn't try playing right when it came out. I got off work at 4 and I launched it, and matchmaking was down. And I looked online and they had it down for maintenance. And then I came back at like 4:30, 4:45, and it was already back up. So, I mean, and I haven't had any problems since then. The only problem would be that like post game results don't show up sometimes. But from what I played during lunch today, and it seemed to be working fine. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it a lot.
I think that's definitely a game the three of us need to try and stream. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
it would
for
be
sure.
Fun to play.
For sure.
is there any kind of like, obviously you've described it as kind of a battle royale, so you're competing to win. But can I like party with you guys and we all jump in the same lobby, or is it just
Yeah.
straight up matchmaking?
So
I've
you
been
can
seeing people say they do that.
you can have a lobby up to 4 people and you queue up, but
Okay.
it's still every man for himself in there.
Right.
But it'll
right.
show me like out of all the people running around, it'll show me the little triangle over my guy's head, and it'll also show me the triangles over your guys' head as well.
Okay, that's
So
cool.
so like
Okay.
I'll kind of know if you guys are in front of me or behind me, or you know what I mean.
So it's not really a cooperative experience, but like you're still
You're at least
interacting with
playing
people.
together. I wish
Yeah.
more
Right,
games
yeah.
would do that, because
Same,
there's
yeah.
a lot of games, like pretty much any game with a free for all mode. I understand why they don't allow it,
Yeah.
because you could easily game the system and everything. But I really would like to go into a public matching a public match game against my friends that I'm playing with. I don't want to
Yeah.
always be on a team with them.
Or have to set up a custom game or something. Or,
Yeah.
you know, whatever it is.
Yeah,
So-
for sure.
Yeah, I know Halo lets you do that. It won't be like you can't do it in ranked, but I think if you queue up, actually I don't know. I think if you queue up a social game, free for all, it'll let you queue up with like up to 4 people or something like that. But still,
Yeah, what I used to do when I was playing Call of Duty all the time, I had this clan. We had like 25 people in it. And when we had 12 of us on at a time, we would just wait. We'd go one person in, and then everyone just joined on him, so that we would just overload the lobby. So we were still progressing our stats and everything, but we were actually playing against each other, and it was a lot of fun. But it was kind of a headache just finding a lobby for all of us.
yeah.
This just in, John is boosting. He's been banned from everything.
No, not Modern Warfare that I play all the time.
Modern
No.
Warfare 2 or 3 probably.
It was 3.
Well, there you have it. John's account is banned. They're gonna wipe your record from
Oh,
whatever
no.
online databases all of your
No. It's
KD
gone.
ratios
My
are
prestige! My
You've done a
prestige!
fucky wucky.
on. But yeah, Fall Guys is a lot of fun. I'm sure we'll stream it or have a Let's Play or something of it up probably in the next week here.
Let's do it. Friday,
yeah.
we're streaming. Let's
It's a-
do it.
It's a lot of fun. Friday we're streaming and John's gonna finish a fifth of Fireball? Is that what you drank last time? You sick fuck.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, Connor, what have you been
Are we
playing?
doing a drunk stream on Fall Guys?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, hell yeah.
Absolutely.
We're doing this Friday.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and then we're gonna go straight into fucking that mini golf game that I suck at.
Yes.
Oh, it's so good.
Perfect.
I love that game.
All right, Connor,
Just
what have you been
party
playing?
Stream time. Yeah, so I have been playing a ton of Street Fighter, Ultimate Street Fighter 4, or Ultra Street Fighter 4, to be specific. I talked on it last time, and still just jumping in, playing a ton of Ibuki, which has been an absolute blast. But I guess the more interesting thing is it has been years since I've played with an actual like arcade stick. I've mostly relegated myself to just playing on a controller, you know, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, that kind of stuff. Doesn't really need a fight stick as much or get as much benefit from using a fight stick, but older games like Street Fighter absolutely do. And so I talked before how I picked up a fight stick. Well, I got so hardcore into it that I decided to buy a bunch of parts and start modding the stick.
Oh, let's see it.
So right in front of me,
How much
it's not done
RGB?
yet.
You got RGB?
No.
Oh,
I'm not
come
going
on.
that hardcore.
Are you
with
even
it.
a gamer?
Maybe it's not. Listen, man, look at my computer. If you
Fucking
want to talk
show
about
it,
RGB.
coward.
So I've got a bag of parts here. These are all the parts that I ripped out. If you're watching the video version of this, you can
I don't
see
want to
these
see that.
right
I
now.
want to see the board.
Ripped all that stuff out, and I'm waiting on some more buttons. I'm waiting on a new faceplate.
He doesn't
and
want
stuff,
to
so we're
show us
getting there,
because
but
it's a woman's chest.
I'm just,
It's just
that's my second fight stick. We don't play video games with that one.
His waifu is on it.
His wife?
Yeah, so that's the fun fight stick. Again, if you're on the video version of this, you can see it right now. So swapped out the stick for a Sanwa, if you didn't know.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what that
Stick,
is
yeah,
either.
and
Is
some
that the same
Sanwa
one? Is that
buttons.
the same stick that's on the NBA Jam arcade cabinet?
Yeah, it might be a Sanwa stick. Honestly,
highly
it's like
doubt
the
it.
creme de la creme of fighter sticks, right? So I ripped this bad boy apart, threw new buttons in there, threw the new stick in there, and then we threw down for a couple hours last night, me, Josh, and my buddy Dave, and just had an absolute blast. And I'm so upset that I didn't get a fight stick before, like earlier, just to have. Like this one's universal, so I can use it wherever. But just having one and being able to whip it out and be like, let me grab my stick, it's fantastic.
Sir, this is a family-friendly podcast.
This is a Wendy's. No, it's fantastic, and I'm having so much fun with it. We're messing around with a program called Fightcade right now. Having a little trouble getting it up and running, but it's an emulator for a bunch of old school fight games. You can pick up some ROMs, and there's like the JoJo's fight games on there. There's basically every Street Fighter you could possibly want, starting at Third Strike and going backwards, and it's just super, super cool. I'm having so much fun with it. You guys should buy fight sticks because it's a gross hobby. And listen, get into it, do it. It's so much fun. I think probably the one of my favorite things about it is like I have a weird love for dumb peripherals. You know,
the chainsaw controller.
Yes, just like the chainsaw controller. I was going to ask if you don't mind, what are your guys' favorite peripherals of all time? Like a non-standard controller. I got a few answers on this one, but just for a quick second, if you could entertain me.
I don't think I've ever owned one.
I did own. It was like a weird controller. I don't even know who made it. It was probably Mad Catz or something back in the day. But it was an original Xbox controller, and it had a button on it that said Turbo. And I still to this day have no idea what the fuck that did.
I had that for PS2.
Did you guys ever have a Wavebird for your GameCube?
Oh yeah, I've got a
one.
few of them.
Oh,
I still
now
do.
we're
They're
talking.
sitting over here, man.
I think I own one still. Well, I had one from when I worked at Disc Replay. But
One
I've
of my
never actually used
friends, one of my friends bought a GameCube from a garage sale for like $10, and it had like 4 controllers, and 2 of them were Wavebirds.
That's
sick.
And that's
for
insane.
$10.
Yeah, he bought all of it at
That's
some
a
garage
fucking
sale.
steal.
I know. And then
Did you beat him up and
no,
steal it?
and then he's like, "Yeah, I don't even think I want it though. Do you want this stuff?" I was like, "Sure."
What the
I was like,
fuck,
"You want?"
man?
I was like, "You want money for it?" He's like, "No, just take it." I was like, "All right."
Oh my god! So
Yeah,
you just got like Wavebirds chilling.
Yeah, I've got 2 Wavebirds and
Out
like
their
4
cage and
GameCube
everything.
controllers, and then I also have. I think it came with Double Dash was one of the games, and Super
That's
Mario
like a
Sunshine.
$30 game on its own.
And Super Mario Sunshine was in there too.
So here will be a fun one for you to try to find some footage for the video feed. But do you guys remember the game Seaman on the Dreamcast?
Please spell that for me.
Yeah, I know.
Seaman, SEAMEN or MAN, one of the two. I don't remember
Because
which
it's just the
they
one.
use.
It's just the one.
Okay, yeah.
It's-
There was a
it's-
microphone that you
Oh,
got. Do
yeah.
you know about this game, Joel?
I know about
Oh
this
my
game,
God.
yeah. I have video.
That was
up
my
right now.
favorite. Back in the day, me and my cousin we taught our seamen how to say fuck, and we were far too young to be using that verbiage at the time, and so we always were like super scared to play that game around anybody else, like our parents or my uncle or anything, because it was like just a ticking time bomb as to when this thing would rat us out.
Yeah, I
Like
believe
every time somebody
This
walked in
game
there, it
is
was
fucking
fantastic.
terrifying.
it is.
It's one of my
needs to
all-time
be brought
favorites. Honestly, like it's so absurdly dumb. I love it.
Absolutely.
If you're not watching the video feed of this, by the way, you're absolutely missing out. So you should watch that. But yeah, that and then the I've always had a soft spot in my heart for the Steel Battalion controller
Is that huge
as well.
thing?
You know what I'm talking about?
Is that the huge one?
Yes, the ones that's like a size of a desk and it's got like a giant flip up eject button, like a flip cover for the eject button. It's genuinely one of the dumbest pieces of hardware I've ever seen in my entire life, and I love it so very much. And that kind of my uncle actually had one of those when I was growing up, that Steel Battalion controller, and that kind of sparked my love for really stupid peripherals. That and like the Time Crisis guns. And man, fight sticks are kind of like right in that niche of like fiddly nonsense. And so yeah, I'm still working on this one. It's a work in progress, but I'm excited to show the finished product once it happens. Should be over the next couple days or so. I'm waiting on a few parts to come in, but man, it's just real fun to fiddle with that stuff.
Oh.
So
I've got my favorite, even though I've never actually
Oh.
owned it.
go for it.
The NES Power Glove. I always wanted one. It's
Hell
so
yeah.
It always reminded me of my Power Ranger gloves I got for Christmas one year.
I want one so bad, just to say I have it, just to put it on, if it would even fit.
How much do those things even cost?
I don't know. Let's check.
I think they're not well. Okay, finding a good working one
Yeah.
is a little more
I mean,
expensive.
what
but
did those things even ever do? I never understood what they do.
They were featured on The Wizard, or was that what the movie was called? Something like
the
that.
question is, what was it supposed to do?
We're getting into Rob levels of territory here, okay?
Yeah, just absolute nonsense.
So it looks like, okay. Oh wait, I have to find the sold thing. Show only sold. There we go. No, not too bad. Most of these have gone for between 75 and 100. Other ones a little more, like 160 is the highest I'm seeing right on the first
Got to
page.
imagine they're like collector's pieces now.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
it would be
that's
so
not too
cool just to
bad.
have one of those.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start collecting peripherals. You heard it here first. I'm gonna start
Dude,
with buying
I'm
one
down
of
for
Joel's Wavebirds.
First, you gotta get that chainsaw controller.
Yes, I know somebody who has that. Actually, it's
At least
sweet. It's really
borrow
cool.
it for a day so we can show it on the podcast. 'cause
Absolutely.
that thing is
Yeah.
awesome.
So yeah, that's been taking up a good majority of my time, just kind of throwing down on some Street Fighter and enjoying some of those old games.
You know what you should do is you should put a Raspberry Pi in that fight stick and use it for like old ass arcade games.
You know, honestly, so I've got this bag of extra parts now, and that's kind of what I was thinking of doing.
Just building a new one.
Is building a Pi and getting a chassis and something. I don't know, project for another day. of course. It seems like I've always got too many projects going on, but yeah, that's been most of my time. I'll wrap up my second one too because it's really just a quick anecdote. Playing more Destiny, which Joel, I saw that you're starting to get back into it.
Yeah,
So
I
you
decided.
want to go ahead and have our Destiny minute?
Sure, I decided to start playing again just because the new DLC is going to be free with Game Pass, which is a huge deal.
Yeah.
So I decided to pick it back up because I was like, all right, I'll be playing it again this fall, and I'm sure that once it comes to Game Pass, more people are going to be getting into it. So I don't know. I just started playing again, and I got some of my buddies to start playing too. So I'm hoping that I can get back into the groove of things and kind of get my light up higher. You know, my armor score, whatever you want to call it. I think it's called light, right?
It's power,
Power?
in Destiny
Okay,
2.
whatever.
Noob, but whatever.
But yeah, like I
Didn't it used to be
tweeted. I tweeted today, part of my problem is I don't know where to start. There's so many people in the tower to go talk to at any given time, and I don't know what I should be favoring to do. Because I've played a little bit of pretty much every DLC, I have so many quests. So the other day I literally just went in, I picked a quest, and I just did the whole thing just to kind of see where it would take me. So I did that, so maybe that's what I'll do from now on. I'll just find an old quest that I have still and go through it. I'm not entirely sure.
That's pretty much what I've been rolling through, is kind of clearing out that quest tab. Especially, everybody's got a few more weeks now with the delay of Beyond Light to kind of clear out some of the leftover stuff and, get rid of whatever there is. I gave you some advice on Twitter, and certainly hit me up sometime I'm on. I'd love to guide you through some of that. But yeah, it's a problem that Destiny's had for, honestly, since Destiny 1. It's very intimidating to either get into initially or to get back into if you take a lengthy amount of time off, because there's really no guide as to what content you should be focusing on, and the symbols don't do a good enough job to really designate what point in time different content hit or different quests and stuff that you have came through. So I certainly sympathize with you on that one. I did mention that a lot of that content's being vaulted, though.
Yep.
Once I think actually they're doing it in September still, even though Beyond Light was pushed back. So things should get a little easier moving forward, which I'm really hoping for. But man, yeah, that game is still real good. What's out of curiosity, if you don't know offhand, what's your power level?
I think I'm at 1001 now. I don't know what is the
Mine's
max.
over 9,000.
What is the max power level right now?
So the soft cap is 1050, with the hard cap at 1060.
What the fuck is the soft versus the hard? Hard means if I want to spend 80 hours a week playing?
Kind of. It basically, once you hit that soft cap, you can only do pinnacle stuff in order to earn anything that advances your power level.
Gotcha. Okay.
So raids or dungeons or end game content in order to cross that last 10 levels.
All right. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. But yeah, next time I see you on and I'm on, I'll hit you up and we'll do some strikes or something. I don't know.
I'll be your tour guide into the world of Destiny. I got your back.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's I've been begging my buddy Kenny to play for over a year now, because I don't know, I love the game, I love the art style and everything. It's just hard to get back into, and finally he decided to download it, and I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing, so it's definitely not helping my case.
I'll guide you through the game. Wait a second, I don't even know where to go myself.
Yeah, for real. Because when I was trying to talk him into playing a year ago, I was active in the game and I knew what was going on. Now it's I don't even know.
If you miss a week, you miss out on so much already.
I know.
It's just constant. It's the fear of missing out thing. They want you to fear that you're going to miss out on a ton of stuff so that you keep playing. But obviously, God, it makes it such a nightmare to get back into. I'm glad that they're doing something about the problem. It was getting really out of hand.
Yeah, because it seems like every other week there's a quest line that gives you some sort of exotic weapon or piece of armor, and then it's just gone. And
well, it's also, they've started getting into almost time gated content. So right now, in order for you to catch up on the current story, once a week you complete the means to an end quest chain, and once you complete that chain, you go do a specific quest and then get a whole bunch of lore for it. And it's supposed to be that you can only unlock one of those bits of lore every single week. So it's like 12 lore pieces, which is an absurd amount. So basically, you've got to wait like a week to hit the next one after your first one, and it's intimidating. It's brutal, and I can see John rolling his eyes already because he's sick of us talking about Destiny. But I'm gonna roll my eyes in advance on what he's gonna talk about. So,
John, what have you been playing?
Well, first I'll just throw out that I already told some friends of mine and Connor's that I'll be playing Destiny 2 once it comes to Game Pass. So we'll see if it's gotten, I don't know, good. But me and a few of those friends have also really gotten into Overwatch again.
no.
So they brought back open queue within the last month. So
What does that mean?
they'd gone to a queue system where you had to choose attack, tank, or support. And when you got into a game, you were relegated to those for competitive. We play a lot of competitive. But they brought back open queue, which is the older version. Just you and your friends, you go in. Anyone can choose anything. I have things I like about that, things I don't like about that with people throwing and everything. But we've been having a lot of fun with it. Just having some friends to play with. I think if we got a full team together, we would have even more fun. Connor?
I knew that was aimed at me. I knew it. I literally was like thinking to myself mid-sentence that John's going to mention my fucking name.
But man, we've been having so much fun with it. Our very first like placing, we got put like right back in the diamond and high plat, like where we were before, which was cool because for a while we've been dropping and everything. But man, it's just really fun. Again, like there was a time there where I was just not having fun with the game, but man, we are. One of the things now, which is so good, is that you can queue up into like a skirmish, a death match, the practice range, or a custom game while you wait to find an actual game to get into. So usually what we do is death match, but I started putting us into custom games because we have fun making fun of them and everything. We actually found a couple that are pretty damn good. Since they put in the workshop that let people create more games and everything, people are just like going wild. And the latest update that came out today like even expands that, so more should be coming. So like we found this one game where it's pretty much Infection, where there's one character that has to start on one end of this map and get all the way to the other end. But they have to get through a ton of Reinhardts. And if the Reinhardt smacks you... Or actually, no. It's one Reinhardt and a bunch of other characters. If a Reinhardt smacks you, you become Reinhardt. So the next time they run through, you have to get them in. So, Infection, pretty much. We also found this game that we were addicted with. It's called Overwatch, but with JoJo powers. And every single character in the game has a special ability that's just insane. So my favorite, for example, was Torbjorn. You pull out his hammer and you hit someone with it, and when you hit someone with it, they fly to the top of the map, freeze, and then die. Tracer, you go up, you hit them, and you're essentially putting a bomb on them. When you recall, they blow up. And it's just like crazy stuff like that. So Genji can teleport behind people, and then when he uses his ultimate, everyone else freeze and their camera goes to a third-person view of him, like slicing people up. Symmetra, when she crouches, she teleports everyone to this really small room where she can set all of her turrets and just obliterate people. Reinhardt, if he smacks you with your hammer, you go to the top of the map and you fight in the air against him. So whoever dies, like they just die, and then Reinhardt comes crashing back down. Like every single character has a crazy power like that, and we were having a ball playing it. Like it was so much fun. It was great.
I mean, it sounds cool. I didn't know that Overwatch had any sort of custom game thing like that.
Yeah, they added it in probably about a year ago, and at first maybe even 2 years ago now. At first it wasn't that deep. It was pretty much just set up a regular game with people. But now they added in the workshop about a year ago, and people can actually make their own game modes and everything.
Now, and with that, do they ever like feature these custom games anywhere, like that you can match make for, or is there like a customs browser like there is in Halo 5?
I mean, it's all in a browser and everything, but there's no like featured section. I think it is whatever is most popular comes to the top automatically, or what the most people are in that you can join.
So in terms of a browser, you mean like I can look through if I'm playing by myself and say like, okay, there's 10 out of 12 people playing in this game, I can join them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's right on the same page as the quick play competitive arcade. It's just right at the end there.
Cool. Yeah, I've not played Overwatch in a long, long time, but I'm watching gameplay and it's making me want to play.
It's a lot of fun, man.
I feel like there for a period, I heard nothing but Overwatch news every day, and then I feel like I never hear anything about Overwatch anymore.
Oh, and the summer games started, and they made Lucio Ball better. Lucio Ball is better.
How did they make it better? It's the same every time.
So they actually changed it up this time. So they made it so Lucio does his boop power within a second. So you're not doing it and waiting. It's just all of his abilities are faster. I think he's faster. His punch is extended. So the game is just faster. It's closer to Rocket League. Still, Rocket League's much better and everything, but it is better. And then they added in a new mode where there's 2 balls on the field at all time.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I had another question for you, but I completely forgot what it was.
Play Overwatch again, guys. It's so good.
I don't know.
Even Ethan, Connor. Ethan, who hates everything. He's
Listen,
a little
John's
ball
banned
of rage.
from talking about Overwatch anymore.
Even Ethan is having fun.
He's had his Overwatch minute.
His
for this
Overwatch
month.
25 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do wonder, like, you think that we haven't heard any Overwatch news because they're waiting for a giant, like, Overwatch 2 drop, like, reveal.
Right.
Which is interesting with no BlizzCon this year.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. They did mention, just a quick news note, that they're eyeballing a virtual BlizzCon for early next year.
Okay.
So I just saw that report pop up today. So I would imagine maybe we get some more information on that kind of stuff there.
Cool. Well, with that, let's get into some news, guys.
News time.
News.
Okay. Biggest news and most controversial news of the week. This
Absolutely.
article comes from Chaim Gartenberg. That's a name from The Verge. It says the title is Square Enix's Avengers game is getting a PlayStation exclusive Spider-Man character, and that sucks. Square Enix's Avengers game will arrive this fall, and it'll bring back console-exclusive content in a big way. The company announced that PlayStation players will get exclusive access to a playable Spider-Man character sometime in 2021. Frankly, that sucks. It's not clear whether Sony paid Square Enix extra for the exclusive character, or if this is simply an extension of the movie rights that Sony has long since held to the character. But the fact is that PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 owners will be able to get access to a major piece of content for the upcoming game that players on Xbox, PC, or Stadia platform exclusive content and third-party releases has been a frustrating aspect of the games industry for years, with both Sony and Microsoft shelling out for exclusive levels or early access in games like Call of Duty, Destiny 2, or Control. But since crossplay between Sony, Microsoft, and PC platforms for games that exist on all 3 platforms has started to become the norm, the fad of gating off pieces of content
Getting off the Spider-Man.
to the owners of the right console has been falling out.
Let me shoot my webs.
Has been falling out of favor. onto your what was your joystick called?
It's my stick, man.
Your
I
stick?
gotta grab my stick.
What'd you say, Siva?
Shiva. What is this stick called?
Ghost of
Sanwa.
Tsushima.
My Sanwa stick. Oh my god. But yeah, so this is shitty, and it goes on further. John, you want to read this part?
Sure, I didn't have it open.
Okay, I'll just take it.
Go for it.
This comes from Ethan Gatch at Kotaku. It says, enjoy this word salad about why Marvel's Avengers Spider-Man is a PlayStation exclusive. On Monday, developer Crystal Dynamics announced that Spider-Man will be coming to Marvel's Avengers sometime next year, but only on PS4 and PS5. Fans were understandably upset. Now, studio co-head Scott Amos has explained the reasoning behind the exclusivity deal. Kinda, not really. Amos could have just... This is my first time hearing about this part, so this is interesting to me. Amos could have just dodged the issue entirely by saying something like, we don't comment on the details of business deals with our hardware partners. Instead, Amos decided to go for it in an interview with Comic Book during a media roundtable earlier this week, and it is truly something to behold. So he said... So the beauty
I really want to read this part because it makes no sense, and I feel like it's going to be a lot of fun to read. So I'll be your Scott Amos, Joel.
All right, go ahead.
So the beauty of Spider-Man and what Spider-Man represents as a character and as a world is, again, it comes back to the relationship with PlayStation and Marvel. We happen to be, once you can execute and deliver, when it comes down to choices of where and what Spider-Man can be, that's a relationship question that PlayStation absolutely has the rights to. That, as you guys know, with Sony's ownership there and Marvel with Sony saying, hey, this is something we can do. This is something we can do on this platform.
What?
Ethan in the article says.
What?
Scott continues. And so, what we do as creators is say, this is an opportunity that we can make something unique and fun and awesome that we all... You just talked about Black Widow, and to be able to have that experience, so we love the idea of being able to bring this character to the PlayStation players. Yeah, so basically, the long and short of this is... I'm not Scott anymore. They obviously had a very rough showing for Marvel Avengers. The first couple of weeks that it was out there, people were mad about the character designs. People said that the combat didn't feel very weighty, that it just didn't seem to show very well at first. And in my mind, with the war tables that they've had leading what they call the war tables, which is like their miniature stream reveals, they've done a fantastic job in earning back a lot of that goodwill and proving why this game deserves a chance, right? I personally was not very excited for this game up until very recently with the announcement of the beta and actually seeing some of the hands-on inside of the game. It made me much more excited for this game, and it gave me a reason as to why I should be interested in this. The Spider-Man news, however,
it's complete bullshit.
Yeah, it's not great.
The reasoning here, he doesn't say...
There's not a reason.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't say anything here.
Right. Well, no, he definitely says a whole lot of something.
He essentially he like at the beginning he tries to blame it on PlayStation and Marvel, but then he like walks it back to the so like people aren't like wait don't blame them like no, this is just happening. But hey, we have Widow in here honestly, this is only coming to this one platform, but in general we're making this game for everybody. But the one character that you like, the most popular Marvel character is arguably just on this one platform.
Honestly, like, what it looks like happened, it looks like he was speech to texting like all the press, but he was sitting in the same room as all these people. Like there was the head of Sony, there was somebody from Marvel there, and then he was just like, he was speech to texting this whole thing, and then as he was speech to texting, he would look up, and then he'd see somebody from Sony like, no, like,
I can't say that.
This is a fucking Trump reaction here. This is like something that that dude would say. Like, it doesn't make sense.
It's a very like garbled non-answer that doesn't even come close to addressing the questions here. I think for me, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. If you look behind me, I've got a big old Spider-Man poster framed behind my head. And, I'm going to play this game on Xbox. I'm going to play it regardless, even with this exclusivity news.
I'm still super
However, I'm disappointed because I thought we moved past exclusivity deals on this scale. And I think the reason it's so frustrating is that we're not talking about a B character. We're not talking about a C character. We're not talking about, some random character that really doesn't have any meaning in the story or anything like that. We're not
talking about Squirrel Girl. We're talking about Spider-Man.
This is the Avenger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Especially with all the success that Spider-Man's had. Certainly, if this is a Sony move, they paid money, which I assume this is what this is.
Absolutely.
They must have paid exclusivity money, or said we'll give you the rights, but only for PlayStation.
Well, that's the thing. Sony only owns the rights to the movies. They have nothing on the games.
Right, and like we obviously saw him in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3
Yeah.
recently,
A
and
Nintendo
there was
game.
no issues with that. That was a Nintendo exclusive, and it's just a very bad taste in my mouth because Spider-Man is like a core Avenger in my mind. Obviously, in the comic books, it takes a while before it gets there, but they're talking about
He's
adding
an upcoming Avenger.
story levels for these characters that they're adding to the game, making them have impact, and so it puts them between a rock and a hard place. Like, do you put this character out there, half-ass it, not give them a story, and then dissatisfy Sony players, or do you do the character justice, in which case you have screwed over, the rest of your fan base, the rest of your player base at that point, and for them it sucks because now they have to deal with it, but for the players it sucks the most, and I really am not happy to hear this at all. And
And then you
it certainly
consider-
makes me hesitate to spend
And then you
extra
consider that the
money on
game
this
is going to have crossplay. So you're going to have all these
Yeah.
people just watching other people play with Spider-Man, and they have no access to that character.
Yeah.
You can't touch it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I think
crazy.
that makes it even worse.
Yeah, for me
Like-
personally, I wasn't very excited about this game going into this announcement, and this announcement just confirms that I probably will not be buying this game, at least not at launch, just because I think that this is such a
yeah.
shitty thing to do, and like I just can't support this right now. Like I just can't
it
get
is
behind
shit.
it.
I'm still going to buy it. I'm still going to play the beta this weekend and everything. But I'm not the hugest Spider-Man fan. Like, I like him. He's a really cool character and everything, but he's not my favorite in the Marvel universe. This still sucks, man. Like, it's so stupid, especially when they come out and say things today that there won't be any other exclusives, like nothing else.
Right.
And then
Basically
just
saying,
this-
if
yeah.
you want to play the real version of this video game, buy a PlayStation, you suckers.
yeah,
Well-
it's crap.
We tweeted at Pixel Street Pod, what are your thoughts on Spider-Man being a PlayStation 4 exclusive in the Marvel Avengers game? We will read your thoughts on the show this week. So Brandon Addison, Mr. J, 251990, he said, now if it's adding to the story with key elements, that's kind of shitty on Sony's part. If it's just an additional character to fight with, that brings very little to the story, then I'm okay with it. What do you guys think about that?
I will let you
comment?
know, Brandon plays on PlayStation. He's very dedicated to the PlayStation side of things. So him saying that if there's like more to this and everything, like that's kind of a big deal. There's a lot of PlayStation guys saying, "Hey, this is shitty." Like, it's not just people outside saying that this sucks.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's bad practice in my mind. So Chad Michael Innes, at Chad Mike Innes on Twitter, he said, it's just normal platform exclusive content, just like Darth Vader in Soul Calibur or exclusive strikes in Destiny. Sure, the strikes were exclusive for a year, and we don't know if the same's true for Spider-Man, which I don't think it is.
I don't
but
think so,
people
yeah.
are just upset more by this because Spider-Man is actually cool. I don't agree with what Chad says here.
I don't either.
I think this is so many leaps and bounds above and beyond,
Soul Calibur.
just a simple exclusivity deal. Like,
Yeah, because Soul
my mind
Calibur had
jumps to-
other things for the other platforms.
Right,
While
right.
while there was Darth Vader, the other one had Yoda. Like,
Yeah.
Right,
that's
everybody got
a
something cool,
awesome
right?
trade-off. Yeah.
And so it was like, hey, here's a special character depending on what platform you're playing on, and it gave you an incentive to maybe check out some of those other platforms, right? Whereas this is just a blatant, hey, we've got a lot of money, we own this character, you want to play him, and we know you want to play him, you got to come over here, you got to play on this side of the fence, otherwise you don't get the full final experience.
Yeah,
It sucks. It's different than a game, and especially with the crossplay thing, it's much different than a game that has exclusivity to one platform, like a Fable or a Halo or an Uncharted. That crossplay thing just rubs it in people's faces and makes it suck more.
Going on to what you said, John, about the Soul Calibur thing, the 5-star man Asa Gray at the 5-star man says, For me, it's because Xbox isn't getting any sort of equivalent exclusive. In Soul Calibur, Vader was exclusive to PS3, but 360 got Yoda. Xbox would have to announce that Wolverine was exclusive to Series X or something to be in any way balanced. So yeah, I mean, we're all kind of saying the same thing here. I don't know. I don't think it's fair, I guess. But like honestly, like their PlayStation, Sony clearly is not out to do what's fair at this point.
No.
Like this is a deal I could not see Xbox making right now, just because of how pro-consumer and how pro-gamer they've been as of late, especially with things like XCloud, Xbox Game Pass being on Xbox and PC. You know, all Xbox games from here on out being launched on PC at the same day. Yeah, it's just a really, really shitty situation.
I want to point out that they did come out and say that there will be other exclusives for the platform. There will not be more exclusive characters, but there will be more exclusive surprises to the PlayStation platform, which honestly really just, irks me even more.
It's probably going to be like a lot of skins, maybe a few missions, like side missions or something. It's just really frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I guess we should move on. John.
Oh, also real quick, we did have one more reply. Also, Holden the Pardo got in on that conversation with Chad. Those are our guys that our friends at Respawning Fire. We love them. Chad, you're wrong. Sorry, bud. But we did have one more reply on there from Mr. Meme at Mr. Meme 45326015. He said, "This is a huge move by Sony. I am an Xbox guy, but got to give them props. They played it smart." Okay, that's cool. Him looking at the bright side of things, I guess. But,
I mean, there's no doubt that this is a big
shitty
move for Sony.
Oh yeah,
it's still a shitty thing to do.
It's really shitty.
Right.
Okay, moving on.
Pikmin, John.
Yeah, Pikmin 3 was announced on Twitter, even though there was a Nintendo Direct like last week that they could have announced it at. I don't know. I'm annoyed. I want a Nintendo Direct. Nintendo, come on, man. Get your head in the game.
The fact that they just announced this, because like I've never played a Pikmin game, but I know people love the games. The fact that they just announced this like pretty much on Twitter with a video makes me think that there's no Nintendo Direct coming anytime soon, and they do not have any games to show.
Paper Mario.
I mean, to be fair, this isn't like a full new game. This is just the deluxe edition of it. So,
but they did the same thing with Paper Mario.
Right, yeah.
So,
it's certainly odd, and it's antithetical to the way they've handled things, but this isn't like, oh my god, here's the next Breath of the Wild,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wonder at this point how easy it is for them just to flip a switch and bring a Wii U game to the Switch. Like, you think you think they were desperate for content and realized it like 4 or 5 months ago, and they're like, hey, let's bring Pikmin to Switch.
I would think it would take longer than that, because there was so much of the tablet gameplay, so they have to like do. Of course, I've never played Pikmin. I don't know how much of that is in this game, but they have to take that into consideration.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
I mean, the cool thing about this, to add into it being the deluxe edition, it also includes some new difficulty modes, new side stories. And then all the DLC from the original release, which, it being the deluxe is kind of expected. But it seems like they did do a healthy amount of work. I've played some of the Pikmins, and they're fantastic for, being light time wasters. A game that you can kind of jump in and do some light puzzling, but not necessarily dedicate brain power to. So it's exciting, but yeah, it's I agree. I wonder if they've gotten to the point where it's become a very simple process to bring that kind of stuff over, because this is certainly obviously not the first game to roll from the Wii U.
Yeah, and it's probably not going to be the last. We still have Super Mario 3D World out there.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, but kind of a weird thing to go along with this announcement today, the Wii U eShop version was delisted by Nintendo today. For Pikmin 3.
That's a shitty thing to do.
That's so shitty, right? Like, you can still buy a digital code at some places, but you cannot download the game from the eShop on your Wii U anymore. And like, have they done this with like Mario Kart and stuff on the Wii U? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I never had a Wii U. Like
no.
at the end of the day, it doesn't affect too many people, because so many people are on the Switch and not many people on the Wii U, which really makes me wonder why even more. Like, it's shitty. Of course, yeah, it doesn't affect so many people, but like, why? There's not much point to this. I don't know. I don't get it. Not a cool move, Nintendo, but it's whatever.
Not
Woo,
cool at all.
Pikmin 3.
Connor, you want to take this next one?
Yeah, sure. So we've got some gaming news coming up this week. Sony actually announced a state of play for Thursday, August 6th. So by the time you're hearing this recording, the event will have happened. But we thought it'd be fun to maybe chat on the things that could be and, throw some predictions out there real quick. Just a quick weigh-in on it. They say much later in the post, just to be super clear, there will be no PlayStation Studios updates in Thursday's episode. There won't be any updates around hardware, business, pre-orders, or dates either. On Thursday, our focus is squarely on showcasing some cool upcoming games coming to the broader PlayStation ecosystem. So they kind of got out there, they did the Xbox thing and kind of set those expectations, which I think was a good move, as obviously everybody wants to know the PS5 info. But that being said, PS4, PSVR, what left do they have in the tank? They said that it will be third-party and indie titles and some updates on some older ones that we've seen before. So, John, give me 2 things you think you see.
I put this into the show notes, and I have no idea what they could show. Like,
I got
Day,
something.
like, I would think that they show something from Crash Bandicoot 4. And probably some other third-party games. VR side could be just something random.
I think
that we don't know.
I think VR is going to be that Star Wars game that they said was coming out this summer. That was on Oculus, the Vader Immortal.
Oh, sure. Vader Immortal.
Okay,
Yeah,
a release
that-
date for that.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably that. And
that
I
makes
could
sense.
see them showing Star Wars Squadrons in VR as well.
Yeah, because they did tout that would have some VR compatibility. So, it's going to be exciting to kind of see what the death throes of this generation look like.
I don't think we get any big announcements.
Yeah,
so.
it's certainly just going to be, closing out whatever needs to be talked about and doesn't fit elsewhere and really just needs to kind of get scooted out there ahead of the PS5. So, should be interesting to see. Timestamp on that is 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Again, that is Thursday the 6th. So, some cool stuff there.
Going back to PS5 stuff, I saw a tweet that was pretty accurate, and it said, we're going to find out how much the PS5 is 2 months after it comes out.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've heard it described as a reverse loot box. They're going to tell you everything that's inside of it and everything that comes with it, but they'll only tell you the price after you've bought it.
It's starting to get ridiculous. Like, we're already in August, and we don't know how much
3
these things
months
are.
away.
Yeah,
We
3
are
months like
At
mad.
most 3 months away, because this
Yeah.
is coming out. These are coming out before Black Friday. So
Yeah, you
at
got to
most
imagine.
3 months away, and we don't know. You can't even pre-order it unless you're doing. We have some stores here that are saying like put down $25 whenever we find it out. You can pay it off and everything.
Yeah. But even that's like risky because there are chances that they're not going to have that many, and they're going to be like, oh well, you're on the third wave of shipments we get in.
Yeah,
or whatever it is.
It's pretty insane right now.
I don't know. We'll see what comes of it. Next article comes from Tom Warren at The Verge. Title is Microsoft's xCloud game streaming will launch on September 15th on Android. Microsoft will launch...
Real quick, Joel. I was thinking we'd move that to quick news because we are running pretty long here.
All right. Well, it's coming out September 15th. They partnered with Galaxy. And you could buy like a gamer bundle with them. And I think on Galaxy phones, they have an extra like shop that gives you access to DLC and stuff. I don't really know the specifics, but still shitty that it's not coming to iOS.
That's actually Apple's fault. From
I know
everything
it
that
is.
I've been seeing, it's Apple just trying to push their Apple Arcade and everything that they want that whole market just to themselves on there. That really sucks for iOS users. Doesn't really affect me because I have an Android and I've been playing xCloud for a while now. Hopefully, when it comes out, it will run a little better on my network.
I had the iOS beta for it, and it worked well. But the only game that was on there was Master Chief Collection, and I checked today, and the beta's gone. Like it's not on the
Oh, they took it off.
test flight app. Well, I mean it's there, but every time I try and sign in, it just says cannot sign in. So I think that they like took it down or something.
That's weird.
So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what comes of it because they're gonna lose a lot out on this if iOS is not supported.
Yeah, but on Android, it's been awesome from the beginning. Like right away, they gave you like 50 games, and they've only added to it to play on there. So there's a ton on there. Like you didn't even have to own the games, and you could play them. But once this launches, it's going to be Game Pass, and I think some games that you own will be on there. I'm not too sure. It might just be Game Pass games on there, actually, if I think about it.
Yeah,
Regardless.
I think it's just Game Pass games at launch.
Oh, okay, cool.
But
Regardless, really
sorry.
excited.
Go ahead. All right, yeah. Wish that it was coming to iOS. We'll see what happens. Let's get into the quick news now, because we're already almost at an hour, so we'll probably skip our topic of the show.
No, we're not. We're doing it.
We're already at an hour, man.
We're doing
Hey,
it.
we'll spend a
doing
few
it.
extra
We're gonna
minutes. It's all good.
we're gonna get it.
All right,
really
quick
fast.
news. Blizzard employees organize demands for a better workplace.
Blizzard's being
Yes.
shitty again.
Yeah, basically a bunch of employees started distributing a spreadsheet where it was encouraged on Slack for you to enter your pay information, and they quickly found out that there are some incredible pay disparities just about at every level across the company. So it's been ongoing, it's still developing, and the latest news is that they've now organized and put together a demand sheet of their employer to basically, call for a more equitable workplace, to bring some of those pay gaps in line, and to effectively work on employee retention, as a lot of companies like Riot have been poaching some of the top level talent from Blizzard for quite some time. So the latest update is that Blizzard did respond and said they're interested in having these talks and seeing what the employees have to say. But it's something to keep watching and to make sure that things hopefully go in the employees' favors here, as obviously the games industry has been plagued by this kind of stuff for way too long. So we'll certainly keep an eye on that.
Yeah, it's shitty because one of these articles comes up like every 3 or 4 months, and Blizzard is on here more than most other companies, I'd say.
More often than not.
Yeah. So it's just really shitty. Like something's got to change. Something's got to give.
Especially when you talk about the fact that their CEO is one of the most overpaid CEOs in the entire games industry.
Oh yeah.
It's something absolutely insane. Like he got a $30 million bonus for like nothing, basically, and that was around the time that they laid off that 700 employees or so. So it's odd stuff. More power to them. I hope it goes their way.
Yep. Moving on. Microsoft issues statement saying no changes are coming to Xbox Live. I know this comes after rumors about Xbox Live kind of going away and it just becoming Game Pass as a whole.
They took away some of the verbiage that was listed on their site. Like Game Pass up until this point has been referred to as Xbox Game Pass, and they removed that, simplified it, and it's just called Game Pass now. And then they've also removed...
No, it's still called Xbox Game Pass.
It's still Xbox Game Pass.
It still says Xbox Game Pass, but they removed the word Xbox. It's just the logo now.
Yeah.
So they're kind of changing their marketing strategy with it. They also removed some of the references to Xbox Live Gold from their terms and services on their website. So a lot of people have been alluding to maybe that Xbox Live is free here soon, which would be an awesome move. But one of the representatives came out and said that no changes are planned at this time to the Xbox Live platform. But I would imagine that's not the way you would confirm something like that anyway.
No, I don't believe him. I think whenever this next event is, something is happening.
Yeah.
You don't take away the year subscription and then just not do anything.
I've always thought it was kind of ridiculous that like you have to pay just to play a game online. You know what I mean? I always thought so. Like if you buy a game on PC, you don't have to pay a subscription to anybody to play online. Whereas if you buy, Call of Duty on Xbox, you have to be a gold subscriber to play. Even though that might have changed now, because I know like some free to play games you can play. Like Fortnite, I think you can play on Xbox Live without having gold.
No,
I think that's
on PlayStation.
Is that PlayStation?
Xbox, yeah, has been weird about it up until this point.
It
And
makes no sense to
Nintendo.
me.
Even Nintendo
Still.
doesn't require you to do it, but Xbox
Yeah.
still does. Yep.
Yeah, it's weird. Moving on, Deathmatch is coming to Valorant. I thought this
Excited,
was cool.
Connor?
Yeah, I mean, more modes in that game. We've seen a sharp decline in people talking about it. It's not quite the zeitgeist that it was at first. Really, the notable stuff here is just that Deathmatch is on its way, and they reiterated that they are not focusing their what they're calling their prime servers, to Deathmatch. It's going to stay on their competitive modes, and those will favor the better performing servers, and Deathmatch will kind of go to the crappier ones, I guess. Is the long and short of that. So yeah, interesting. Valorant, obviously is trying to capture that CS:GO or Fortnite money, and I just don't think it's there yet. So
Since Valorant actually released, I haven't heard a thing about it. It's just
Yeah.
disappeared. It's crazy.
it's been very quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, it might take like a big event for them to kind of come back in the spotlight.
Yeah.
Right.
But moving on, a Beyond Good and Evil adaptation is coming to Netflix.
Yeah, they're going to get this before you get Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yep.
I was just gonna ask, which one do you think comes out first?
Right. But yeah, the director behind Detective Pikachu is going to be working on this, so pretty
Oh,
cool.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
hopefully
cool.
it'll be pretty good.
I know nothing about the game or the franchise, whatever. you wanna
I
call
played it.
There's a pig.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird game. It's a cult classic. It's cool.
All right. Moving on. Halo Infinite multiplayer will be free to play and 120 frames per second.
Yeah, this is really cool. This came out like right in the middle of all the Xbox Live going free stuff, so that only added fuel to the fire. This is really cool news. There's just not much more to say about it. I mean, that's just
I'm
awesome.
glad they got out and talked about this. There were some strange rumors that popped up saying that the Halo Infinite multiplayer wouldn't be ready for release, and that it was going to release at a later date as a standalone, like all kinds of nonsense. And they got out and basically squashed it. And the surprise was that it will be free to play. But honestly, that's a super smart move. You look at all the free to play games, as far as esports are concerned, that have been able to go to the next level with a much larger player base, and Halo immediately jumps to mind as like one of those perfect party games that's so easy to jump in and out of. Obviously, I'm sure there's going to be a path for monetization here, but just some really cool stuff. The 120 hertz is interesting too. I'm interested to see how they implement that.
It's smart, but it's also concerning in terms of like what kind of microtransactions could there potentially be, like in terms of like battle passes or having a store like Fortnite, Valorant, any of these games nowadays, where you just buy skins on skins, certainly. And I'm sure that that's going to be the case. Moving on, PS4 controllers will not work on PS5.
Kind of. Is the long and short of this one. They came out and, Xbox has been pretty upfront with their strategy moving forward, where basically everything Xbox One will work on the Xbox Series X. They're calling it backwards and forwards compatibility, and PlayStation up to this point has been very coy in talking about the forward compatibility piece, confirming that things like the PSVR will be compatible. But it was rumored for a while that PS4 controllers might not work, especially with, how different the DualSense controller is between the two. And they just flat out came out and said that if you want to play a PS5 game on your PS5, you have to use a DualSense. You cannot use a PS4 controller, which I get it. It does suck, but, new controller, new features.
Did they say
all that stuff.
if they will work on the PS4 games?
So yes, they did confirm that
Okay.
PS4 controllers will play PS4 games on the PS5. So you have a bit of a path there, but it does sound like most everybody's going to have to upgrade to that DualSense.
This is pretty dumb to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like there's no reason why a PS4 controller would not work for a PS5 game.
The PS5 controller isn't that different.
I know.
Well, you do have the microphone that you get to blow into, so...
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's the thing. Did you guys watch any of that Jeff Keighley stream where he had the PS5 controller?
Yes.
I thought that
Yeah.
was the dumbest fucking thing ever. It's just like
Yeah.
20 minutes of him playing Astrobot going, oh, yeah, you can feel the way the controller... Like, dude,
Yeah,
okay.
I can't. So, yeah.
I wonder how much of that was a response to, like... Personally, I hate the PlayStation controller. I am not a fan in any way, shape, or form, and I've always been an Xbox fan on it.
Yeah,
And
same.
I feel like the hive mind has always been that the PlayStation controller is worse than the Xbox controller. So I wonder how much of it's like, hey, our controller doesn't suck anymore.
Yeah, it rumbles.
Rumbles real good, and
Yeah.
and you can blow on it. You want to blow on my controller?
Yeah, you like that DS action?
You that dual
Come,
sense.
come pet my Nintendogs.
All right, well, that wraps up the news.
DualSense now compatible with the Nintendo DSi.
All right, John, topic of the show. You have a game for us.
No, Connor, not John.
I've got a game.
Connor, sorry.
Yeah, I've got a game. I'm ready to go. You guys
All
can
right.
start guessing. So I've picked a game. We're going to play 20 questions. These two hooligans
Love
are going
this
to try to
game.
figure out what it is. This is a bit of an underground one, so you might have a tougher time with this one.
Okay.
But I have very fond memories of this. So let's jump right into it.
All right. Did the game release after January 1st, 2000?
No.
Okay.
All right.
Did it release in the 1990s?
Yes.
Okay. You got anything, Joel?
I'm trying to think. Was it a... Should I say, was it a console exclusive?
Yeah, go for it.
Was it a console exclusive?
Do you mean that it was exclusive to a particular console, or that it was exclusive to consoles in general?
To a
All right.
to a particular console.
All right, so it's also on PC.
Yeah.
Would clarify that because you guys just said two different things here.
No, go with what he said. I was saying
Okay.
because you said that it's also on
So
PC.
is it exclusive to a specific console?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's a
yes.
question.
Yes is the answer.
Okay. So it's not on PC. Unless PC is
No.
considered a... PC could be a console.
Fuck it, let's burn
Platform.
it.
We'll call it a platform.
Platform? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Is it a 3D game?
No.
No. Okay.
Well, okay.
When I say that, I mean
Like
Vis-
3D environment movement.
I mean visually 3D. Like it could be a 2D side scroller in a 3D environment. I'm talking about the environment particularly.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute, so give me just a second. Discuss your next question.
Should we just start guessing consoles at this point?
I mean,
It's kind of a pseudo 3D. It's more 2D than 3D, but let's say no. It's not a 3D.
was
It's
this
a popped up 2D.
Was this on the Nintendo 64?
No.
Ooh.
PlayStation?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now we're somewhere. I'm glad you said that because my next guess was going to be Genesis.
Okay, so it's a PlayStation game. Let's try and nail down the genre. Is this a platformer?
Yes.
I don't like the fact that he hesitated.
Um,
I don't like that he hesitated.
Yeah, me either. PlayStation.
It kind of falls
platformer.
into genres, but it is a platformer. Yeah.
Okay. Was it a popular game?
I'm looking at the reception. Yes.
Okay.
It was popular for the PlayStation. That's pretty much where we're at right now, and it's a platformer.
Yeah. I'm totally blanking on PlayStation platformers. I was always a Nintendo guy.
This is your
Same.
wheelhouse, John. You're the platformer guy.
Especially for platformers, like it's always been N64.
Yeah,
For
Right.
my
PlayStation
90s.
didn't have a lot.
This one was pretty popular, so
Pretty popular platformer. I mean,
You're at 8 questions.
I keep
You have
on-
12 left.
the only thing that's coming to mind is Klonoa. But I'm pretty sure that was on Nintendo as well. Where was it? I'm not sure. Do. Joel, you got anything?
I am drawing a blank. I
Did this
literally
game-
just
I'll give you a hint at 15.
I literally just Googled on my phone what a platformer is just to make sure that my head is in the right space.
Did this game have any sequels, or is it a sequel?
Yes. To the first question.
It had sequels. Okay.
Yes.
So it did have sequels. Is the series still relevant today? Like, has it had a release within the last 10 years?
No.
Okay. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Do you play as a rabbit kind of person, or what is Klonoa? Whatever Klonoa is, I'm trying to get at that. The rabbit thing.
No.
Okay, it's not Klonoa.
Why did you just ask if it was Klonoa?
Because you're actually
do
you're really not
do
supposed to throw
do you-
out game names unless
you-
you know it.
do you play
Fair,
as a do you
okay.
play as a rabbit thing? Yes. Is it Klonoa? No.
Yeah. Then you lose. Okay. Do you play as a humanoid?
Yes.
What are you thinking, John?
Yeah, that was actually that was a good one.
So wait, did we come to? Is it a 3D game? Is that what did we come up with?
No, it's more 2D than 3D.
Okay.
Some of the art pops like it's kind of 3D, but it's a
Hold on.
2D game.
Is it a Toy Story game?
Wait a second. Oh no, I don't know the name.
Uh-oh.
Do you
Uh-oh.
do you play as? I mean, as you play. How am I gonna say this?
With words, preferably.
Yeah. Do you? Is it kind of like a rhythm game?
No.
Okay. Damn it. What was that game?
Yo, I'm real bad at this.
Now I'm thinking of a different game. There was like a really.
We're at 13. You'll get a hint at 15.
So there was a sequel.
There was a sequel.
Platformer.
The sequels that released, did they ever go beyond the first PlayStation?
So, like, was there a sequel on a different platform or beyond the PlayStation 1?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Okay, so the series only was on the PlayStation 1.
Should we ask like if it's like a franchise? Like
I mean, if it has sequels and it was stuck on the PS1, I wouldn't say it's. I mean, it'd be a franchise, but oh, do you mean like was it a marketing
a movie?
deal?
Yeah, like no, I was more questioning if there were any movies or TV shows or anything.
If it was
If it
stuck,
exists outside the medium.
if it was stuck on PlayStation 1, I don't think so. There just wasn't much for the PlayStation 1 outside of the games.
You get a hint after your next question.
Okay, we know it. Play as a humanoid. Is this a Mega Man game?
No.
Okay.
So, hint time. I'm gonna give you a little bit because this is kind of an underground one. Well, not terribly
I
underground.
forgot
but
you
it's,
said
it's
it
a
was
little tougher.
Yeah. Okay.
You play. It's a platformer. We established that.
Mm-hmm.
It also has a lot of RPG elements.
RPG.
RPG elements.
So,
It's
so kind of like
if
an
you want the
Axiom Verge.
exact genre, it's a platform adventure game with RPG elements.
Platform adventure game RPG elements on the PlayStation.
5 questions left, gentlemen. Really need some music for this part. Something to make it intense.
Oh yeah, that would be good. Let's see.
I'll give you another hint at 18.
Okay.
You play as a humanoid.
What?
Nothing. I'm just talking out loud, thinking out loud.
Okay.
List stuff off. Make it happen. Go for it.
I literally can't think of any games that fall in this genre on PlayStation, and only on PlayStation.
Yeah, I was just so much a Nintendo guy during this time, and if I wasn't on Nintendo, I was on Sega.
Same.
I played some PlayStation games, but they were all 3D games.
I'll give you one that'll throw you for a loop. Don't think too much on it. But it was the original was re-released on PSN in 2010.
Re-released. Okay.
Digitally. There's no physical copy of it.
Yeah, so that would be a PS3 game thing. Well, not a game, but the market thing that they had there.
Sorry, 2011 was when it happened. But yeah, still PS3. Yeah.
I'm at a loss right now.
5 questions.
Do.
You can look up a PS1 game list if you want.
Okay,
All right,
I think
I'm-
All games
I'm
on
gonna
PS1.
do it now.
That'll help.
All right.
All games on what? Did you say PSN or PS1?
PS1.
PS1. Okay. Do.
I'd much rather be able to see pictures. Is it
Yeah, right.
medieval?
What's that?
Medieval?
No, I don't think that got a re-release. And
No, and it
Well,
came
we
out
could-
in 2019. It was remastered.
yeah.
Right.
So no, not medieval. The sequels this game got, were there more than one?
No.
Okay, so it's just 2 games in the series. Were there any spin-offs?
No.
Okay, so confirmed 2 games for the series.
To the best of my knowledge,
Okay.
there's no other ones.
Okay.
What do you mean to the best of your knowledge? You have a computer in front of you.
Whatever it is, it has some kind of kart racer that he never knew about.
It's Chocobo Racing. It's Chocobo Racing.
Oh no!
No.
Um,
It's one of my favorite. That's a real good one.
How many are we at?
You're at 17, so 18's your next one, and you get your final hint.
Okay.
It's not Rayman. There's a shit ton of Rayman games.
Yeah, and I would say that'd be more above an underground. Oh man, looking at a list of every PlayStation game was a mistake. There's so many.
I'm just clicking through the pictures.
I
and there's
knew
not
it
that
wasn't going to
many.
help that much. So,
Clock Tower, no.
Should we ask? Should we ask? Does it have a number in the name? Or no, because it would be the first one, so it wouldn't have a number.
Yeah.
Does
or
the
wouldn't it
sequel
be-
have a number in its name?
Go for it.
Does the sequel have a number in its name?
yes.
Okay.
That's 18. You guys ready for your next hint?
Yeah,
yes.
go for it.
Actually, I don't know if I can give that hint. Let me come up with a different one, because that one will, now that you guys have a list, that hint will give it away.
That's a fighting game. Adidas Power Soccer.
Yeah, okay.
An action, 2D action platformer with RPG elements.
I'm looking through this list for everything with a 2 in it.
The lead designer and producer, previous to releasing this game, worked on Resident Evil for Capcom.
Is that some kind of hint that it's shit? What's his name? Shit, I can't remember his name. I'm only looking up the guy's name because I know him, the Ghostwire Tokyo guy.
No, I don't think so. No.
Not him. Okay, it's someone else.
Yeah, I don't believe so.
Okay.
See, I just came across this game called Alundra. I'm gonna Google what this is.
All right.
This is not a platformer.
2 more questions, gentlemen. That's all you got. Am I gonna stump you?
You have so far. Man, I really wish this was Klonoa. Klonoa is awesome.
On after you guess the next one, I'll give you the hint I was gonna give you before. Which honestly might give it to you. So.
Was this a Japanese-made game?
So clarify that question a little more.
Like the developer, was it a Japanese company?
Let me see where they were based.
Okay.
I'm not finding anything. I'm only on C looking through this list. There's so many fucking games.
I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say that yes, it was a Japanese developed game.
Okay. You know, since
All right.
it's...
Here's your final hint.
All right.
There are a lot.
Oh my god. I think... Go ahead, give it.
Okay. There's a lot of pigs.
Okay. Yep, I got it. Oh, shit. Do you play as a caveman with pink hair?
That's
For our final
only
question. For our final question, yeah.
Okay, and then you're gonna guess.
Yeah, do you play as a caveman with pink hair?
Yes.
It's Tomba!
Yes, it
Yes!
sure is. It's
What
the
is
first
this?
one in the series.
Tomba!
How do you spell that?
It's one of my all-time favorites. So do you see what I mean by saying it's not quite 3D?
Yeah, no, yeah, that was also kind of what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, it's weird because
it's a 2D game in a 3D environment.
Right.
The character
you can go
looks
back
very
and forth
3D.
on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think in the second one they took the 3D aspect a little bit deeper, but it's got a lot of RPG elements. It was developed by or produced by Whoopee Camp, which was founded by Tokiro Fujiwara, who worked on the Resident Evil franchise for Capcom for 13 years. He was at Capcom. Decided to leave, fund his own game studio. They made, I pronounce it as Toomba, personally, Relic of the Childhood Past. But Toomba and Toomba 2, The Swine Return. And yeah, it's super wacky. It's zany. It was an absolute blast. You did all kinds of nonsensical stuff in it, and it was just super cool. And it's on PS3's PSN, so if you got a PS3 laying around, go check it out.
That was a good one.
Interesting. I definitely remember seeing this cover art before for this game. I just never knew what the hell it was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's so good.
I've never played it either, but I've seen it on a YouTuber I follow.
Oh, hold on.
Cat Icarus.
Hold on. There was a sequel after the second one.
There was?
What?
For 3DS? Hold on. When I typed in Tomba on YouTube, Tomba 3 trailer came up.
Interesting.
Tomba 3.
I wonder if that's a fan thing.
Unofficial name of the third game in the series that was never released.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, that's a fan thing.
In an early interview with Fujiwara, it was confirmed that an early alpha version was released among the game developers, but any work on the game, including the alpha disc, was trashed when Whoopi Camp went bankrupt. So it looks like they were working on a third. I didn't know that, actually. So you taught me a little something.
I know nothing. I don't know. I just saw this.
But yeah, that's it. That's 20 questions for this week. You guys brought it out right at the end. It's a good thing John was here.
Yeah. Good thing I watch YouTube a lot.
Guys, I found
I would not have gotten that.
I found a YouTube channel. It's called Tomba Club, and
Yeah.
they posted videos about Tomba, I guess.
Yep.
They have their own Discord.
Yeah. It's actually got a pretty big following. I think they took over the Whoopi Camp name after Whoopi Camp went bankrupt, and they run some of their social medias as Whoopi Camp.
Huh. I mean, they posted video of what looks like an early version of what would have been Tomba 3. So this is pretty interesting. Something that could have been but never was and probably never will be.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The games weren't overwhelmingly incredible. They were fun, but yeah, there's a good reason that company went bankrupt.
But yeah, that wraps up this very, very long episode 106 of the Pixel Street Podcast. I'm Joel Campos. You can find me on Twitter at Campos63, twitch.tv/Campos63. Connor, where are you at on the internet?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at The Real Birch. It's Birch like the tree without the I, so BRCH. Also on Twitch under the same name at The Real Birch. It's getting real hard to remember not to say Mixer on that one. But yeah, come hang out. We're hoping to stream some Fall Guys here pretty soon. We've all been pretty busy, but would love to get some more content. And I don't want to spoil anything, but definitely stay tuned with us for the future. We got some cool stuff in the works.
Yes, we do. And John, where are you at?
On Twitter, I am at Revek Shadows. You can go there and see some of my latest writing. Still check out my Destroyal Humans review if you haven't read it yet or played the game. Other than that, I am twitch.tv/Revek Shadows.
And as always, follow the podcast on Twitter at Pixel Street Pod. And check out our Facebook, Pixel Street Podcast. We post our videos up there every week as well. And we will be right back here next week for episode 107.
Bye.
See you later.